I'm super excited. I'm pumped. I can't wait to get the answers to these questions. I know everybody else is excited as well. So I'm gonna just ask you like a couple questions, and there's some sub questions within the questions.
Okay.
So we'll just go over a couple of them now. So the first question is there another exchange besides Coinsbit you currently have your eyes on, or are you pursuing the next one? All right. And with that, let me tie it together. Is there a projected time frame to be on Binance? And with the Coinsbit listing on the horizon, will this be a proof of concept for the potential listings for Binance?
We have the same communication with every exchange that we were working with before. We just found the best fit in Coinsbit. Those don't just go away, and there's actually been several more that have reached out to us and seeing the growing volume, the growing holders, the market cap, and of course, something that should never be understated is the locked liquidity, which again we'll post. I'll make sure that everyone can see that for anybody who's not aware of it. It was talked about a lot when we first launched, because that is what makes things confident and secure for people to get into a coin, so they're not worried about a rug pull or about liquidity being withdrawn, which is how a rug pull happens. We locked 98.9% or 99.8%, I should say, of the liquidity, which at the time was $6.2 million. And those are things that don't get lost on exchanges. They see the amount of liquidity that this project has and they salivate. A lot of times there's projects who have 200 Ethereum in their liquidity pool, and they struggle to not only pay the listing fees to get onto the exchanges, but then they can't provide enough liquidity for the exchange to confidently list them. Again, you'll see stagnation if there's not enough liquidity and there's not enough activity on some certain projects. And the irony there is sometimes those projects have charts that look, oh my gosh, that was 200 times gain. And it's like, why can't that always happen? Well, there's a difference when the liquidity that was added for that project was literally 0.1 Ethereum, and it 200 times itself when it gets to 20 Ethereum. It's because there's only 20 Ethereum in that pool. It's about $100,000 comparative to 6.2 million. And that 200 times gain that people think happened, it's not really real. And exchanges recognize this stuff. So we've been having communications, obviously, since we decided it's the time to move to an exchange, but we've tabled those until we perfect this one, until we crush this out of the park, which we're on the cusp of doing. To answer the question, Binance has always been our biggest goal. That, as we've always mentioned, Binance and Coinbase, but especially Binance, is the gold standard in exchange listings. They have all kinds of criteria, which much of it is based upon other factors that take time. You can't just get listed on there. There are legitimate time sensitive qualifications that you need. You have to be listed on some other exchanges first. Coinsbit is almost like skipping 2 stones in that process, because of the fact that it isn't some low-level exchange just to get on an exchange to say that you're on there. Coinsbit is, in the eyes of every exchange, on the top status, top tier, the top 25 for sure, echelon, and that is huge for us. We've been told that, as has been said, and I'll say it again. I'm proud to say we have communication with people at Binance who are high up there. One of our devs has a project where the lawyer for that project is CZ's lawyer for Binance, and again has an open line with him to ask certain questions, and we of course are privy to that information. So things like that, we know what we need to do. It's not like we're poking and hoping and praying that, hey, maybe if we do this, it'll look good. No, there's a strategic process in doing that. And we need to make sure that we have all the metrics that they require, even if they want a certain project, they still have requirements that have to be met. They aren't an exchange who's looking to ask people to come. No, they're the exchange where people are doing everything they can to get on there, also included. So that is, again, on the horizon. It's something that we know can happen. We will do everything to make it happen, and we have everything in line. This being a major step in that process to get there. So that is on the table. I think you mentioned something about proof of concept. That proof of concept's been, I mean, it's been displayed at full force. I know that everybody in the community, sometimes we can get in our own heads, in our own bubble, and some of the questions, they sound good in our head, but then it doesn't always translate to the real world scenarios. Our proof of concept is being proven as we go, as every day passes. We're growing right now. Again, charts are not the end all be all. They are very difficult to not look at. But as I mentioned, there are projects where it seems like they're green every day. Well, there's a reason behind it. I already told you about how you can 200 times if you start at 0.1 Ethereum and then you go to 20. Well, that's a much different case of 200 times than with real volume, real money, and that's what's needed. And we're doing that. I mean, I've looked at the chart right now more than I have all day just because I have it up, and it's looking amazing. Over 2.8 right now. So the market's happening the way that we need it to, and we're taking advantage of that. So Binance, yes, sites set on Binance. If I can put that there officially.